welcome to Quincy in Focus, Quincy Access Television News Magazine show. I'm Tim Myers, an intern from North Quincy High School, and your host for this episode. Our first piece, we have highlights from Mayor Thomas P. Koch State of City Address, where he talked about creating more spaces for early childhood programs, and the new public safety headquarters, and the formation of a new police task force involving shoplifting.
This year, as Americans, we celebrate the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding. Of course, with growth comes its own set of challenges, and space is one of them. In the coming weeks, I will submit to the City Council a funding request for a major retrofit to the Della Chiesa Early Childhood Center. It will enable us to create more space for kindergarten classes and other early childhood programming. The plan approved by the school committee will ease space constraints caused by increased enrollment at Lincoln Hancock Elementary School. This year, we will also plan to take substantive steps toward the long-term goal to create a new elementary school at the former St. Mary's site in West Quincy. The work is showing crime is down in every major category, in some cases dramatically, including 16% reduction in violent crime over the last 3 years. While other communities have for some reason turned a blind eye to the crime of shoplifting, I'm proud to say that under the leadership of Chief Kennedy, the Quincy Police Department has done the exact opposite, forming a task force designed specifically to crack down on retail theft across the city. Through this work, larcenies were down 6% last year. It truly baffles me that these kinds of property crimes that lead to other crimes, usually bigger crimes, are somehow just ignored. I am proud that our city and our police department have stated firmly, not here. As I speak here tonight, the department is continuing the transition process to the public safety headquarters, a state-of-the-art facility our first responders have long deserved. It is built to last a century and is quite handsome, and I would say it's in the tradition of Town Hall and the Crane Library. In the coming months, the functionality of this facility will allow the city to consolidate all of its emergency dispatch, all of it under one roof, in one room. That includes police, fire, and Brewster ambulance. The result will eliminate redundancies and lead to emergency response times even faster than ones today. We already are among the very best in the region, but we can do better. In his introduction, President Kelly made note of the advances of our fire department. That progress means our neighbors can feel safe in their homes, knowing that a well-trained, well-equipped, and fully staffed fire department is just minutes away in any emergency. It also means cost savings. We already boast one of the best insurance ratings for community standards in fire protection. In the coming months, the department will be pursuing the highest possible rating, which could ultimately save our homeowners hundreds of dollars every year in home insurance costs. In the coming weeks, we'll reconstitute a citizen advisory committee and host community meetings to define the needs of a performing arts center. They'll be included as part of the construction of the APC, Adams Presidential Site. This will be held at the site of what we own today, the Monroe Building in the heart of the downtown, right at the Quincy Center T-Stop. I look forward to the community process to get this project off the ground. My friends, this should be a celebratory year. But I must say the nation's mood has me a little worried that we're going to collectively bypass this incredibly important milestone, our 250th. I hope as a country we can all take a step back, put down our megaphones for a bit, recognize our history, and realize that we're indeed all in this together. Blemishes and all, America is still mankind's greatest idea, and that most definitely worth celebrating. We owe it to Adams, Hancock, and Quincy.
Alexandra Elliott, Director of Quincy Historical Society, and Bob Damon, Director of the Historical Heritage Resources, talk about the rich history of food in Quincy. Damon speaks on the old Squantum Inn, and Elliott explains how colonists used to eat, the first Dunkin' Donuts, and the first Chinese restaurant.
Thank you all so much for being here tonight, for coming out in this very, very cold weather, and for joining us for Quincy Eats and some culinary history of our beloved Quincy, Massachusetts. So the Three Sisters. This was a term that was used to describe the interplanting of three different crops. Does anyone know what those crops were?
Beans.
Beans, absolutely. Beans, squash, and corn. Absolutely, yeah. So beans, squash, and corn. These were the Three Sisters. Now, on the next slide, I wanted to bring in a traditional recipe for eel stew to give you an idea of what this dish would have been like. Now, I took this one from a traditional English food cookbook, and I selected this recipe because of the ingredients, which all would have been readily available in Quincy during the colonial period.
Enjoy the bounty of seafood collected from Quincy's shores and prepared for them by professional chefs. And that's what the Squantum Inn was all about. Joseph Lee had a reputation as a hotelier and as a chef, and in partner with his wife Christina, they created a particular kind of ambiance which catered to the wealthiest classes in and around Boston.
Gravestone right there on the left. And he is credited with being the, as it says on his grave marker there, he is recognized by the National Bakers Association as the inventor of the donut, which is a little bit apocryphal. It's more than a little apocryphal, in fact, because he is in fact the inventor of the donut that's shaped like a ring. So the first Dunkin' Donuts is in fact on the Southern Artery in Quincy, opened in, like I said, 1948, but it was around 1950 to 1952 that it started changing its name to Dunkin' Donuts. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see a clipping from the Patriot Ledger that shows the grand opening of Dunkin' Donuts in 1952. So that's kind of where the business was officially marking its name change. And it's fair to say that he single-handedly revolutionized the way that Americans eat food, and specifically the quintessential American road trip meal, because a lot of his businesses were specifically placed along roadways, and to go with the further industrialization and rise of the automotive vehicle. He decides to open some ice cream stands. So the first one he opens is on Wollaston Beach in 1926, and it is already going gangbusters. The first weekend that they open, they make the same amount of money that they made the entire year selling ice cream otherwise. So it was a very, very successful right away. One gentleman, that being a man by the name of Yi Han Eng, was successful in getting a victualler's license and was able to open a restaurant in 1920. In 1920, Yi opens the King Fong Lo restaurant on Hancock Street, but his second location was located right here on Hancock Street. The third one is probably the most famous. This one opened up in 1932 on Chestnut Street, where it stayed until 1949. Here he renamed the restaurant the King Joy, and so that is the name that it operates under for the next few years. And then this photograph is the final location on Cottage Ave that opened in 1949. But Eng was a trailblazer in Quincy who paved the way for so many other wonderful chefs and restaurateurs to be successful in this community. So that today, I do want to mention, we have 2 James Beard Award nominees among the many fantastic restaurants in Quincy, that being Rubato and Les Madeleines. So I do just want to mention those.
The next piece is about Lunar New Year, the 38th annual Quincy Lunar New Year Festival. Come check out all the interesting things that happen during this event.
Ta-da!
Xu, Miss Chinese Boston, and I am so honored to be here at the 38th Annual Quincy Lunar New Year Festival. I think events like these are so important to bring the community together. I'm so excited to be representing Massachusetts.
The Quincy Symphony Orchestra had a concert on February 22nd, 2026. This was the second classical concert of the 72nd concert season. Next of the highlights of Quincy versus Hopkinton in the D1 preliminary round. Quincy had a 16-5 record this year. Last year they had a record of 5-15. Quincy won their playoff game against Hopkinton 81-58.
All right, underway here at Monroe McLean Gymnasium. The Presidents win the tap and get things going. Started off with a 3 by Sean Perry, and it is good. Medina gets across. Oh, nice look there. Find Malcolm McMurrow down low. And another nice look down from McMurrow. He can't get it. Gets his own rebound. Again, he gets his own rebound. And finally, on the third time, strong take to the hole there by Malcolm McMurrow. Now Medina quickly comes back down for the Presidents. 15-4 lead. Quincy on top. And a nice bucket there by Josh Kim. And ball taken away there by number 10, Gavin Show for the Hillers. He quickly comes back down, but Malcolm McMurrow will meet him and block that ball. That's the third block here tonight for McMurrow. Bagaj with another 2 points. That's 13 here tonight for Aber Bagaj, the freshman for the Presidents. Nice defense there by Jathan Panay. And great bucket there by Miles Heavey, who's able to get it up and in. Quincy just does get it across, and Bagaj is the one who's up there. Great pass there. McMurrow finds Bagaj for the 2 points. Medina driving straight in, but he's going to get called for the offensive foul. Give credit to Torrey Alstrom Hall. Held his ground as he saw Medina heading his way. Alstrom Hall has 4 personal fouls, so was risking his 5th there. Picks it up on Medina. Alstrom Hall down the other end for 3. That's no good. Gets his own rebound. And off-bounce layup is up and good. Rocco Spinelli with that bucket for the Hillers. Medina splits the defense and he gets it to go in. Medina, an acrobatic layup there for the Presidents. Oh, great pass down to Raphael from Sean Perry. Shot there by Jay Wantate is no good. Ball taken away. Alex Piccioli drives in and it is good. On the defensive end. And a nice little finger roll there by Medina, and another steal for the Presidents. And Christian Raphael puts up a bucket for the 2 points as we are now under 1 minute to play here with a 77-54 lead for Quincy High. Raphael still going hard. Jay Wantate with the bucket though. Then Gendron has checked in. Gendron for 3 and can't get it to go. Raphael with the rebound, up and in. 30 seconds to go here in the game. And another steal there by the Presidents. Lucas Chen gives it off to Karsten Liu. Everyone getting in here on the scoring for the Presidents in the last couple of minutes. And 10 seconds to go here for the Presidents, and they're going to have an impressive preliminary round win.
And that's all for this edition of Quincy in Focus. If you'd like to reach out to QATV or interested in becoming a member, please visit our website at qatv.org or give us a call at 617-376-1440. This has been Tim Myers, and once again, thank you for watching.